Hello dear students, welcome back to a new channel. Students, today we are going to talk about Sonam Wangchuk, why he was detained, which means why he kept in custody for some time, and a special law called NSE, National Security Act. Okay, now this might sound like a very serious topic, and it is, but don't worry, we will understand everything step by step. All right. Now, let's start with Sonam Wakchuk. This we have covered in earlier session as well. He is a well-known climate activist and educator from Ladakh. है ना लद्दाख कहाँ पर है Ladakh is in northern side of our country. Okay, it is part of earlier J&K state, right? But 2019 August में क्या हुआ था? J&K state was Article 270 was abrogated and J&K state was divided into two union territories, J&K as well as Ladakh, right? So Sonam Wangchuk, he works on saving the environment, helping local people, especially, by finding clever ways to save water in the desert like climate of Ladakh. I said this earlier as well that Ladakh is desert. Okay, cold desert. ऑल राइट वहां पे कुछ नहीं है वेजिटेशन वगैरह कुछ नहीं है वहां पे कोल्ड डेजर्ट है वाटर स्कार्सिटी इशू है ओके नाउ इनफैक्ट जैसे मैंने आपको लास्ट पॉडकास्ट में बताया था कि एक मूवी आई थी थ्री इडियट्स तो थ्री इडियट्स में जो आमिर खान का कैरेक्टर था फुनसुक वांगडू इट वाज पार्टली इंस्पायर्ड बाय सोनम वांगचुक्स रियल लाइफ आइडियाज Okay, so recently Sonam Wangchuk has been asking the government to protect Ladakh's unique culture and environment by giving it special rights under 6th schedule of our constitution. Okay, तो इस right से क्या होता है? These rights help local people protect their land, traditions, resources. So, while leading peaceful protest, the authorities decided to detain him using a special law called NSA, National Security Act. Okay, so what exactly is NSA? Students, NSA क्या होता है देखो usually under normal laws a person is arrested only after they do something wrong है ना जैसे अगर कोई रूल ब्रेक करते हैं या फिर कोई क्राइम कमिट किया जाता है तभी उनको अरेस्ट किया जाता है तो उसमें क्या होता है पुलिस एविडेंस गैदर करती है पुलिस गैदर एविडेंस एंड देन पुलिस टेक द पर्सन टू कोर्ट एंड देन a judge decides what happens next, right? But NSA is different. It allows the government to stop a person in advance. मतलब before they do something harmful, उससे पहले ही पर्सन को रोकना ये NSA डील करता है. So this type of action is called preventive action. To prevent, the object is to prevent person from committing a crime. So think of it like this. Imagine you see dark clouds and heavy winds. Now what you do next, you might close your windows before it rains, है ना, to prevent your house from getting wet. So NSA works like that. It lets the government act early if they believe someone might cause trouble that could harm public safety or even national security. तो पहले से ही रोकने को जो डील करना है वो एनएसए करता है. ठीक है, अब एनएसए का शुरुआत कैसे हुआ देखो. प्रिवेंटिव डिटेंशन मैंने आपको क्या बोला कि रोकना है पहले से क्राइम कमिट करने से पहले ही डिटेन कर लेना है रोक देना है. तो प्रिवेंटिव डिटेंशन हैज बीन यूज्ड इन इंडिया फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम even before independence. When Britishers were ruling over us, they used such laws to stop freedom fighters and control protests. Okay, but after India became independent, our leaders also felt that sometimes such powers might be needed to keep peace and order. Okay, so first there was a law called Preventive Detention Act. 1950. Preventive Detention Act 1950. Later, another law followed, Maintenance of Internal Security Act MISA 1971. But people felt that it was misused, so it was removed. Okay, so it was removed in 1978 क्योंकि इसका misuse किया गया था emergency के time पे. Finally, in 19 yes, in 1980, government brought in the National Security Act. Okay, 1980. So this act gives official the same powers again, but with some rules and limits to prevent its misuse. So now let's understand step by step how the NSA works. Say there's a person with authorities, a person, and the authorities believe that that particular person might cause serious trouble, like it can cause violence or it can harm to public safety. So here's what happens. First is detention order. First step is detention order. A senior officer like a district magistrate or police commissioner can order that person to be detained. This means the person will be kept in a safe place under supervision. Okay. Next, explaining the reason. So within 5 days, what will happen? Government must explain why the person was detained. And in special cases, this can take up to 15 days. Then an advisory board is formed. Okay, a group of senior judges called advisory board reviews the case within 3 weeks. Okay, and if they feel that this isn't enough reason, the person must be released then. अगर उनको लगता है कि नहीं कि डिटेन किया जाना ठीक नहीं है तो वो रिलीज कर देते हैं. जो टाइम लिमिट है वो क्या है? 12 months. A person cannot ordinarily exceed 12 months, cannot be detained more than 12 months under NSA, and they may be released earlier if the government decides so. So this whole process is meant to prevent big problems before they start, while also making sure there are some checks and balances. Now, you might be wondering, if there are rules, why do people still worry about the NSA? है ना, रूल्स तो है ही, तो क्यों लोग इतना इतना ज्यादा इसके बारे में सोचते क्यों हैं? क्या है इसका रीजन? तो students, the concern is that sometimes it might be used in situation where it isn't truly needed. For example, instead of only using it for very serious threats, it might be used for smaller issues or to stop peaceful protests. And here's a simple example. Imagine there's a rule in your school that allows teacher to stop a game if it's getting too rough or keep everyone safe. To keep everyone safe. Now this is a good rule because it prevents injuries. सबकी इससे चोट नहीं लगेगी. But if the game is completely safe and fun and the teacher still stops it without any explanation, then the players might feel it's unfair. So that's how some people feel about the NSA when it is used too broadly. Even courts like Supreme Court have said sometimes that a few detentions under NSA were not justified at all, and those people should be set free. Okay? Now what Sonam Wangchuk can do? So now he has been detained under NSA. तो लीगल ऑप्शंस क्या क्या अवेलेबल है वो भी इस आर्टिकल में मेंशन्ड है. ये देखो. Yes. What legal options does Sonam Wangchuk have now? So first is asking the government to reconsider the decision and release him. Then second is wait for advisory board to review his case within 3 weeks. Third is going to High Court, okay, or even Supreme Court to check if his detention was fair and legal. Then, if the government itself feels the detention is no longer needed, it can cancel the order. So these steps help make sure that no one is detained unfairly for too long. Okay. Now, students, this whole discussion brings us to a very important idea: how to balance safety and freedom. Okay. See, on one hand, the government needs to keep people safe. Government needs to prevent violence and protect the country. On the other hand, citizens also have right to speak up. Citizens have right to, protest peacefully and even express themselves. So it's like walking a tightrope. If the government is too strict, people may feel that their freedom is taken away. And if it's too relaxed, chaos and danger could spread. So laws like NSA are meant to keep this balance, but they need to be used carefully and wisely. So as young citizen, it is important for us to understand these ideas because one day you will be the voters and leaders making these decisions. All right? So that's all for today, students. And here you can go through with some key figures who were detained under NSA in recent years. All right. So, students, uh, thank you for joining me today. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep learning because knowledge is the key to building a better future. Bye bye.